Private jet flights tripled, CO2 emissions quadrupled since before pandemic.
Here's a summary of the article.
The number of flights with private jets tripled since 2019, and with that, their CO2 emissions quadrupled, Greenpeace reported based on research by CE Delft. Across Europe, there were 573,000 private jet flights last year, causing almost 3.4 million tons of CO2, TRAO reports. He traveled 164,126 kilometers by private jet in 9 months, with the shortest flight being 25 kilometers from Nice to Cannes. In Europe, private jets are often used for business trips and vacation flights. Depending on the type of jet, private jets emit between 5 and 20 times more CO2 per passenger than regular commercial flights and up to 50 times more than trains. 40% of private jet flights cover distances less than 500 kilometers. In the current plans, private jet air traffic can continue to grow.
This post received a score of 8,500, with an upvote ratio of 97%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Rich people care for convenience above all other and care less about pollution since they can afford to pay it off.
I had the pleasure of flying private last year. I cannot explain to you how actually convenient it is. We flew out of Canada to the USA. We showed up the private terminal at 3 p.m. We pulled up about 20 feet from the door of the plane, got out of the car and the pilot greeted us. On the way back to Canada, all the same as when we left, except the pilot knew we had never flown private, so when we landed he said, "Take out your passports for customs officials." Once the plane landed and the door opened he said, "Okay, they pre-cleared you before we landed. See you later." The car we drove there was waiting and our bags were loaded on and we left. Coming back into Canada we didn't even have to make any declarations.
Greater than they will never give that up. They call it a time machine. Time is worth more than money. Just not your time. They pay the carbon emissions off by using a couple of villages with some hundred natives in Africa as balance and also get all the shiny paperwork. But you can't offset everything for everyone. So the things we really need are out of budget. The CO2 budget is physically limited, no deals. Scientists push for a hard personal CO2 limit. But that is considered too harsh, aka let's meet in the middle.
No matter how much money you have, you can never buy more time. As you get more money, that time becomes more valuable, and you're more willing to spend the money to save time. Things like private keys are the same concept, just a much different scale. Unfortunately, it also includes some pretty negative effects on the environment, but since the rich make the rules, chances are nothing will change.
An inconvenient truth: the rich don't give a fuck.
But you should, peasant. Climate change is all your fault.
Good thing BP gives us the opportunity to check out our environmental footprint. Yes, the same BP that polluted the Gulf of Mexico.
One of my family friends is a property manager for a billionaire. Like, getting the house set up before the billionaire arrived type of thing, not rental manager. When COVID hit, they got access to an employee private jet to use since the billionaire wanted to minimize their COVID risk. It was their old jet, but still a crazy amount of money.
Why don't just raise the tax for private jet landing? Just keep doing it until there are very few of them left?
Because rich people make the rules.
Also, rich people can easily afford it. The cost to them is laughable now and will be laughable after any sort of tax increase.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.